Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to anybody who is signed on and wishes to learn more about Countries Connecting, which is an international nonprofit. This was started on Facebook as a Facebook community or group. And I am happy to say that we have friends, nonprofits, leaders, educators, people who just want to make a difference in the world around them, near and far. So today I have some slides I'll go through, and so basically the theme is what is Countries Connecting? And I am the host. I have founded Countries Connecting. My name's Julie Kessler. So our mission statement, I thought I would start off with this to give you a better idea about what some like our goals are and the directions that we're headed in the future. Countries Connecting unites individuals and institutions that help and empower others who face challenges helping themselves. Inspired by change and a feeling of connectedness in communities locally, nationally, and globally. Every day striving to make a lasting impact, sustainable today and in the future. We enable ourselves by breaking down the barriers in our own minds through cultural awareness with compassion and clarity to communicate effectively, embrace diversity and inclusion to all, and lead literacy initiatives around the world. And I will get into some of those different initiatives and programs that we do focus on here in a little bit. This is a quote that I found a few months ago for a different, I think that was a Facebook Live I did. But people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. And Rob Siltanen said that. And I like this quote. It kind of defines who we are if you are involved with Countries Connecting in our Facebook community. We have different posts. We have spiritual posts. Recently, I see some people in different areas of the world have been sharing job opportunities. Countries Connecting is a great place to do this. We have just over 400 who are in the community right now. I know myself as well as others in the group share our posts and communications on your own personal news feeds. So that is really helpful to get the word out there as well. Next, our vision statement says Countries Connecting envisions a planet of purpose-driven people united by networking through the power of the internet, empowered by freedom and the recognition of fundamental human rights. So you may ask, well, what are the fundamental human rights that Countries Connecting is talking about? So I listed them here. This is found on the UN, the United Nations website. It's the 10 fundamental human rights, and these are all things that Countries Connecting stands behind. So the right to life, the right to freedom from torture, the right to equal treatment, the right to privacy, the right to asylum, the right to marry, the right to freedom of thought, opinion, and expression, the right to work, the right to education, and finally, the right to social services. So this is a little poem or quote that I wrote at the beginning of Countries Connecting, which the Facebook group started January 10th of 2022. So we have everybody who's involved in Countries Connecting. If you're putting yourself out there a little bit for conversations, it's not hard to get in conversations with people. You know, for instance, I'm in the United States and I have friends all over Africa. I have friends all over Europe, in Pakistan, in India, Venezuela, Canada, Australia, Spain, just all over, there is encouragement and positive people. And I love getting on my Facebook every day and seeing how other people are living their lives, are shining their light and trying to make their communities a better place. So this says, in every smile, every tear, every hurt, every fear, if you search deep inside, you'll find me there, not far, but near. I'll be forever close by, countries connecting, strong and alive. When you need us, we'll be together and we'll thrive. Search your heart, know it's true. Open your eyes and feel renewed. One planet, on it we reside. One people together and never divide. One purpose will always abide. And next we are going to go over our purpose statement. Countries Connecting aligns with people locally and globally who are serving communities and impacting the lives of those who need resources and opportunities, empowering them to help themselves. And this is something that we try to focus on in Countries Connecting is, yes, people do need help, people need assistance all around the world. And you can find people who need your assistance, your guidance, your donations, your time, your effort right next to you, sometimes right next door, and then all across the world. So it really just depends on where you would like to serve. And if there's a certain culture you'd like to learn more about, that is something that we like to do here in the Facebook group. If you go to the documents section, you can find a bunch of papers that personally I have written for school. And a lot of them have to do with Nigeria, because that is one of the top initiatives that I was focused on getting together. And now we have that prepared to move forward, hopefully very soon. But I will show you an example of that in a little bit as well. So one day sooner than you think, you'll look back and reflect on today. You'll remember the decision you made to change from defeat to victory. You'll smile and tuck the thoughts away until you need it once again as a reminder for how far you've come. So I like to write these little inspirational quotes. This one I really like a lot because I know that we are all still struggling with hard times, with the weather, or with our political problems in the country that we reside, from friends to family, from our jobs, all of it can, it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. I try to stay positive and have an optimistic outlook. However, it's not always easy. And this is just a reminder to not dwell on your past, but sometimes look back and think about how far you've come, and be proud of yourself, because you have to love yourself and take care of yourself before you can be, pouring out blessings to other people and helping anybody else. So our tagline, and this was written by our president, William, or some of you know him as Randy. But this says, one people, one planet, one purpose. We are one. And that kind of sums up like all of what we have planned, all of our goals and initiatives, our conversations. We try to help one another, inspire one another. The great thing with our community, which is, will change in the future, but this has all been started without, we've had 2 donations and that money has not been touched, because that is all going to incorporation. And for anybody who's been with us for a while, I have started on some projects, and I'm getting an online store set up so I can help start raising the money from some of these things I've created and some other ones I'm doing now. And that way we are building Countries Connecting from our hearts and from our love, our unconditional love for all. So I will keep y'all updated on that. So here is one of the creations, and this was done by our president as well. Again, it says one people, one planet, one purpose. We are one. And we have many of these. We've not shared new ones recently. You know, summertime comes and like we just went on a week-long vacation, and I know a lot of people are probably wondering where Zoe and I's "Cause We're International" series is, but don't worry, Sunday afternoon we will be going live, and I'll share more information later today. Probably she's got a school function, so I have to chat with her and make sure she's good with my timing and everything. So another thing that we are focusing on is the United Nations 17 Sustainability Development Goals. And this is the commitment of countries connecting to fulfill those goals. Let's see. So I'm just going to run through these real quick. I know I was introduced to them early on in Countries Connecting, but for those of you who don't keep up with the United Nations in, you know, everything that they're focusing on, maybe you haven't even really heard of these, or you have and you're a little unsure about what they are. I do have another webinar scheduled to go through each one, and we don't have big goals for each SDG quite yet in Countries Connecting. However, we are working on several of them in the process of forming our programs and in our conversations with the leaders around the world. Number 1 is no poverty. Number 2, zero hunger. Number 3, good health and well-being. Number 4, quality education. 5, gender equality. Number 6, clean water and sanitation. Number 7, affordable and clean energy. Number 8, decent work and economic growth. Number 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Number 10, reduced inequalities. 11, sustainable cities and communities. 12, responsible consumption and production. Number 13, climate action. 14, life below water. 15, life on land. 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions. And 17, partnerships for the goals. And the sustainability, I know if you have followed me, if you follow me on Facebook, in the group of Countries Connecting, I have built an acronym that is called sustainability, and it just is all the different values that we want to have in Countries Connecting. And I will be hosting yet a third webinar. So in the next 2 weeks, we've got this What is Countries Connecting? Then we will have one that goes over the Sustainability Development Goals from the UN. And then we will go through the acronym I created, sustainability, to learn all about the values that you should hold if you are involved in Countries Connecting or if you wish to be in the future. So right now, these are 10 of the programs that we, not every person that I'm talking with or every change maker is focused on all 10 programs. So the biggest, one of the largest programs that I want to get started as soon as possible is our No Book Left Behind program. So many of you, if you are in the education field, if you at all for elementary, you know, middle school, high school, college, if you are familiar with the way libraries are run here in the United States, and I've learned other countries, but for me, especially because I'm here, this is where I'm focused right now, is we go through this process of weeding out books. And this is essentially, I will say many of the libraries and schools, they have, goals and things and can't think of the word I'm looking for, but they have things, rules set in place to weed out old books. And a lot of times what I mean by old is if they're like over 5 years old, they can be weeded out. And what should be happening is that all of these books and textbooks and materials should be donated to nonprofits. I know there's many other ones that do similar things with literacy. So the No Book Left Behind, it's not unique. I believe there's other things that sort of focus on it, but this is a program we really want to initiate because we don't want to see books thrown in dumpsters, thrown away. Because I personally have friends and change makers in countries connecting who are in Uganda, in Kenya, in Cameroon, in Pakistan, in India, that are serving poor communities, and they need these books so badly. We, as a whole, are focused on electronic education, the internet. Well, what about all the people, and I mean there's a ton of communities who do not have access to the internet. So until that goal is reached, which I know I've heard talks of different, you know, um, famous figures. Elon Musk is always one of my favorite, whether you like him or not, with the whole Twitter thing and whatever else he has going on. Um, I know that there are people like him who are focused on trying to, like in this instance, get internet all around the world to every community. However, we're not there yet. So No Book Left Behind is very important in this day and age still. I'll give you an example. So let's see, I believe it was we have our weekly meetings on Tuesdays. For months there, we were doing them every week, and we're getting back into that. However, this is one of our first meetings in about 2 weeks, this past Tuesday. And two of the gentlemen who run a nonprofit in Uganda, this is with our Murphy Charitable Foundation, and they have actually started part of our it's our women helping women be a maka, and that means be family. And so this is helping us so we can start assisting the women in these poor communities, help them learn how to save money, help them learn how to make crafts and try to all focus on the same crafts. At this particular nonprofit, they're focused on bags, bracelets, and bangles, which I believe they mean bangles and bracelets are similar, but I haven't seen any photos because they're just finishing learning how to save as a group together. So now Murphy Foundation is going to help provide the raw materials for the women, and they have found someone to help teach the women how to create these things. And then next is going to be a step where Countries Connecting, myself, and I believe our vice president and some other people that are ready and waiting to help get involved. We are going to help set them up, whether it be Etsy stores or stores on a blog or whatever that may look like. We are going to start getting the products out there for these women, and we're going to interact with Murphy Foundation very closely. They will get all the pictures, and we will get the sales, and then they will get everything shipped to the clients. Now, after we've got that built up a little bit, and we start taking our trips over, to our different nonprofits, then what I plan on doing is one of our Oh, I didn't put it up here. So one of our programs is we want to start collecting gently used electronics, and whether it be phones, tablets, or even laptops. And we are going to provide some of these communities with as much as we can. So let's say that we start off with our women entrepreneurial. We will take over, let's say, smartphones. That's probably, I would think we'd get the most of those, because if you're anything like my family, we have so many old phones lying around, and I've gathered ours up, and we're looking to be able to start sending those so that way these can be used by people who do not have access to them yet. So we're going to go on our trip, our first Africa trip. We are planning on being over there for 1 month. We are not necessarily looking to take donate like volunteers quite yet. We want to go over there and meet these people, meet our friends and change makers around the world, and just get a feel for how everything's going to work with each particular organization before we start taking volunteers. However, I'm going to begin by, we'll get all of our electronics over that we can, and then we are going to help the women build these stores. We are going to teach the women these different values, these different skills that they'll need, so they can create their own, crafts, or if they want to make bags or bracelets, they can do that. And then I don't know if we will have it be part of their community groups. This is what I'm thinking will be best. And they will have a few, electronics to utilize. And then they can get pictures and they can run the stores and they can learn together. So in the end, we're helping them be sustainable. We're not just going over and doing this or giving them this. We're teaching while we're in the process of assisting. So that way they can start providing more for themselves, so they can teach their children, so they have more opportunities in the future, which is what we want for everybody, right? So that is one example. And just let me backtrack. I didn't write a script, and usually I do, but I'm trying to get a little bit more free with my speech on here, so that way I'm not feeling like a robot all the time, which I usually do. But our No Book Left Behind, so we want to go around and and build these connections with these libraries, with these schools. And when it's time to be weeding out books, we want them to donate them. We want them to call Countries Connecting for us to be able to send over, drive over and get trucks, like whatever we need to do, and get these books and send them to our poor communities around the world. And also with Murphy Foundation, they have the Women Helping Women. I was told they have about 50 groups, and each group holds about 50 to 200 women. So, and this all got started because of Countries Connecting. So it's really exciting for me. And I can't wait to go over all the women and children like want to, get involved and meet me and Zoe and learn about Countries Connecting. So the women have their group started and they're really excited. Another program I did not list on here is our healthcare initiative for communities. And this is something that they're beginning in Uganda right now. They don't want to wait for Countries Connecting. They want to do it now. And so the thing is they don't even have any regular, drugs to pass out. They don't have any, no medical experience. They're just joining together and doing what they can before we can even, send them $1 to start helping. With our children, they have started, they've taken our Countries Connecting Kids Worldwide, and this is something we were trying to get started, and it's been a little bit difficult to get volunteers to find the children who are interested in participating. But Murphy Foundation has spread it around Uganda and the parts of Uganda where they serve, and the kids are gung-ho, and they've actually started implementing this on their own for now until we can get, started. And really the biggest need for this is, again, books. And because these kids are wanting to make friends around the world, they're starting to write letters, but a lot of them don't know how to read and write. And it's hard to learn to read if you don't have a book to read. I know I've collected hundreds and hundreds of photographs over the past, 7, 8 months from different nonprofits that we are working with in Countries Connecting. And like they will have maybe 1 or 2 books that they share with a whole classroom of children. They just don't have access to the materials. So it's very vital for these people and for these children growing up to be part of, this new digital age. And so that way we can bridge that digital divide. And what I mean by that is between us who have access to the internet and everything on it and every opportunity at our fingertips, and to our, different communities where, 1, they don't have internet, 2, they don't know how to read and write. So even if they had the electronics, how could they interact with us if it can't read what we're saying? So these all kind of tie in together so that way everything can work stronger. So that is our Countries Connecting Kids Worldwide. We've got our No Book Left Behind, our Women Helping Women Biamaka. And this will be more than just making the crafts. Like I said, with the electronics, we want to start teaching these women how to, how to run a small business online, how to do digital marketing, how to run a blog for writers. All these things are important, and many of us on the internet, we've had we've dipped our toes into various aspects of business, trying to make money and provide for our own families. So this will just be sharing that knowledge, which I believe should be free, especially to those who have no access whatsoever. So No Child Left Behind, this will be tied in with our pen pal Countries Connecting Kids Worldwide, and it's basically sponsor a child. So if we get pen pals set up together, then that family can choose to sponsor that child for, for months on end, could just send a donation. And then even if you don't have kids, or maybe they're not into writing or pen pals, not everybody is, but maybe your family wants to adopt, 1 or multiple children, maybe around Christmas time, or, for 1 year. And there are various ways of doing this. We do have several nonprofits that are so patient. And if you are watching, I love you. And again, I apologize. Things have not seemed like they're going anywhere, but they are. Just continue to have hope. And continue to keep shining your light as what I'm doing. And it's all coming together. So I'm so excited about the future. So some of our other things, No More Thirst. This is kind of what I'm calling it right now, but it's basically well digging in Uganda. And we will take teams over. We are looking to purchase 1 to 2 vehicles. And then what we want to do is take a contractor over with us. So while we have somebody teaching healthcare, sanitation to the children, especially the young girls, while we are teaching the women, we also want to be teaching not only men, if women would like to learn too, but we assume it will start out mostly with men. But again, we're not holding back anybody from something that they wish to participate in. So be it women or men, we're going to teach them how to use the equipment for the well digging, and we're going to actually dig a well, probably multiple in our time, and teach them how to do it, equip them with the knowledge and the skills, so that way when we leave, the truck can stay with the nonprofit and they can start going out to other communities who we have not reached yet, and they can help them build their own wells. So this will all be done through grants and done through donations to Countries Connecting. And I'm really excited to start seeing and hearing about people becoming more sustainable, providing for their family, not worrying about where they're going to get their next meal, simply because me and the change makers and other people feel generous enough with their time, effort, and or money to put in these ideas, to put our heads together, and to really see these things come through to fruition. So WASH initiatives, this is like our water and sanitation projects. Again, we will be training young girls and teens and even women and men, like whoever wants to come to learn more about how to take care of themselves. This is really important, and we can help divert a lot of maybe the healthcare needs just by teaching how to stay healthy. Another thing, the vocational training in Nigeria. So this is something that I will include in another webinar here in the next couple weeks. I did do a presentation on this for school for a research symposium. And so we have it all set up. We have it all planned and ready to go. But basically there's like, I can't remember, somewhere between 10 and 15 different areas that we will be training the young adults on. And things like, how to run a beauty parlor, car mechanics, plumbing, computer engineering, things like that. We want to go over and just train people. We're going to start in River State, Nigeria, I believe with 100 candidates for the first year. And so we're in the end stages of that, where I need to go out to Nigeria while we're in Africa and meet with the educator that we are doing this program with, and really see the city and start trying to find those buildings that we can rent at least 1 year at a time, and start getting those into place, so that way we can help some of the Nigerian men and women be sustainable. Because I don't know if you follow the Nigeria and the politics going on there and all the strife happening there, but they really do need assistance. And so by this, we're going to partner up with an educator who is in Nigeria, knows the people, knows the politics, and he's going to help run this, so that way we can empower these people to go out and start their small businesses and start providing for their families more, as each and every person should have the opportunity and the resources to do. So an online learning platform, this is going to be more in the future, but I wanted to mention it. I won't even share details, because as I do these webinars later, then I will get more in depth about each of these programs. No More Hunger. And then Creating for Countries Connecting is, we are going to be searching for artists and to start to donate works to Countries Connecting. And so we can get these works up on our website, and which is down right now. I'm in the process of changing it over, because the platform that I chose at first, there's just not, you can't make a whole lot of changes and make it unique and stuff how it really needs to be for Countries Connecting. So that is going to be a little artist program, and we'll be creating that and speaking about that for any artists out there who may be interested in sending, drawings, paintings, really anything. You can donate. Even if you do, let's say, pottery or crafts or anything, we can then resell those and put all of that money back into Countries Connecting. So this was just something I made for the Pen Pal program. I just wanted to share it for anybody who may not have seen it yet. So that's Countries Connecting Kids Worldwide, Pen Pals Around the World. And so we will be looking for really anybody from individuals to organizations to schools to teachers, classrooms, families who want to take part in this some shape, way, or form. And then here is one little advertisement that we had made for No Book Left Behind. So again, this says, do you have books you're never going to read? Have a stack you keep meaning to donate? Just always seem to forget? Well, Countries Connecting will take those and send them to kids in need around the world. And here's some of the places that we are associated with. This is more, not a full extensive list. So if you are associated with me and I don't have you on this list, please don't get upset. I just wanted to give some people a general feel that we are reaching lives, we are shining our light, and we are making a little bit of a difference in different communities around the world, if nothing else than inspiring hope that people are good, that people care about one another, that we want to make this world a better place and a place for ourselves and our loved ones to feel safe, protected, empowered, and loved. So this, if you know me, this is my little famous quote here. I shine my light of positivity on the darkness of negativity. And through different various things I create, sometimes I'll change that around, but that's pretty much the basis of it. And it's a good reminder to remind yourself, to remind your loved ones, your friends, your peers, to just keep being positive, because just like the law of attraction, states that what you put out into the world is what you receive back. And I have personally seen this in the past, I would say especially month, where I'm just choosing to not get upset. I'm choosing to not get angry. I'm choosing not to dwell on the past or things that I cannot change, because once you start doing that, it becomes this big loop of negativity and just, pessimism. And it's just really no way to live your life. So I challenge you to try to focus on maybe this statement today or this next week and see how you can be more grateful for the blessings around you. And I don't mean financial, because I know many people struggle financially. I mean the blessings of love from your loved ones and friends, the blessings of the nature that you notice around you, of your knowledge and your wisdom, of your intuition, of your kindness and generosity towards others. And the more that you focus on those things, the more that those things will be returned to you. And finally, let her sleep, for when she wakes, she will move mountains. And this is a quote that I absolutely love. It not only reminds you that you need to rest, it is very important. But then, with that rest and determination to get things done and make a difference in the world, you really can change not only your own world, but other people's, by helping change their outlook, by teaching them, by equipping them with knowledge and skills that are vital for the survival of humanity. And I've got about 2 minutes, but I just wanted to share our link here. So if you are not part of Countries Connecting yet, please feel free to go ahead and follow this link and join our group, see what we're all about, ask questions. You can contact me or really anybody who's posting a lot in there. Even if I don't talk to them often, normally I have a decent relationship with these people, and I appreciate all the support. I appreciate everybody who gets involved, who's just out there with any resources that are available, to you, to really make a difference. And just remember that sometimes the smallest things to you might seriously impact someone else. So I just want you to remember, be aware of yourself, your surroundings, really think about the words that you say to other people, because they can be either detrimental or they can be like building blocks for positivity. So again, I thank you so much. I didn't really have time to make this a conversation. I just wanted to get something out there that kind of included a lot of our goals, our programs, our countries, and those mission, purpose, and vision statements. So all my new friends out there, you can kind of have just a quick synopsis on that. So I thank you so much for joining in, and I have 1 minute to go. I have the free version of Zoom right now, so just these 40 minutes. Again, reach out to me on Facebook. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. There's no dumb questions, and we are always looking for people who are interested. So if any of these programs sound like something you would like to do, please give me a ring. Not a ring, don't call me because I don't answer unless I know you and have something set up. Go ahead and message me or post something on the Countries Connecting wall. Thank you so much. I hope you all have had or are having a fabulous Friday, and I hope that you and your loved ones have a wonderful weekend. Until next time.